And I think what's important about this is because you have this built out, and a lot of times the clients and people we deal with don't have this built out at all.
Yeah.
So they don't have a clue about this. So here's what happens. We're going to get and start working our way backwards for all the leads and everything else, what we want to talk about, right?
That's what I feel like when they get here, the system is good.
Yeah.
I just need more of these. So really, I'm trying to get 4 to 5 of these. I don't know how many of these I need to get to do that, because right now it's all coming through word of mouth and referral.
Absolutely.
So this is what I'll get, or I'll give them. So I'll say, hey, thank you for reaching out. I'd love to learn more about your project. Let's chat. And then it's this page. It says, let's talk. You know you can do more and better with your brand, but don't know where and how to start. A little clarity and guidance could go a long way. Below is my calendar where you can schedule an initial consult, right? So let's say they pick the 25th at 2 p.m. and this is the information that they are qualifying. So they're filling out.
Cool.
Name, email, phone, business, URL if they have it, business size. Tell me about your business. These are all required, right?
Yeah.
What services are you seeking? What is your biggest marketing challenge? You want a phone call or in person at our office? What is your budget?
Do you have this? Okay, and do they go to a thank you page afterwards? Do they go to anything afterwards? So they're scheduling right here? Is this another page?
No, this is this form. Okay. So it's basically one of the, so they get an email with a link to my calendar, which is this form. Okay,
perfect. And then this is before, so they fill out some basic information, right? Some essential information.
So it's kind of like mixed up, right? So this is the user fills this out. I get this email. I reply with this email. They fill out this form to schedule this appointment.
So form on your website, email, form back on your website, and then in person or call or something else.
So basically they're filling out 2 forms.
Okay, 2 forms, okay. So we have a form here and a form here, right?
Yeah. And both of those forms are different. So like if they just go to our start a project, so like right on our website, start a project.
Yeah.
It's a very basic form. It's just our standard contact, which name, email, phone, and then these are not required.
Gotcha.
And then tell us more about your project. But if they go to one of our landing pages, so like each of our landing pages, which I need to redo, I'm already wanting to redo our marketing page. It's even more basic. Just name, email, and tell us about your project.
And are each one of these unique? Like they understand you understand where they're coming from?
Yeah, so this is on our marketing page. If I get this, it'll say contact form from marketing page.
Perfect, okay, perfect. So you do have that unique.
Yeah.
And then how many people from this to this next page right here that actually fills out more like book a time, right?
Yeah, if it's a serious person, because sometimes we get bots and whatnot.
Yeah.
Like 90% of them, most of them do.
Oh, perfect.
Yeah. It's very rare if someone initially reaches out and they don't schedule a time to talk, because that's what they're trying to do. They wish they would have done that on this one, but I'm making them kind of pre-qualify themselves.
Yeah. Perfect. Okay, so we were talking about everything. You have the roadmap, you have everything listed out, you have referrals. What industries are you looking to go after to get this through?
Yeah, so the thing, we're not niched in any industry right now. So the 13 that we have under management are all over the place. We have a couple of churches, we have a couple of nonprofits, we have a couple for-profits, some in the service industry, some selling an actual product. We have Cup of Joy Coffee, which is a coffee shop, as well as, a roastery. So we don't have a particular niche. Really, the niche right now is local businesses, small to medium, or medium to large size businesses in the Fresno area.
Yeah. Would you say that you're more of a problem niche then? You're solving a problem?
Yes.
For various
100%.
industries? We're the same way.
Yeah.
I was trying to go through a coaching program and they're like, niche down, niche down, niche down. And I was pushing back the whole time. And I was like, this isn't working out. I was like, I really solved these problems here for different industries.
Yeah.
Right.
And the draw for us is that our process and method of conducting strategy to get results, it applies to every industry. So that's the value of what we bring is a proven, comprehensive methodology of strategy. And so it doesn't necessarily work for one industry. And I'm not trying to niche down in one industry.
Yeah. Absolutely. So here's what happens a lot of time. You already have this built out. What happens a lot is that we start sending leads to people. They don't have this filled out. They have one form and they rarely follow up with people. That's not going to be the case here, right? But what needs to happen now is in order to get someone to contact you, we consider that the Grand Canyon. So this is my interpretation of Grand Canyon. Marketing's jobs on this part, right? And we can change interpretations is you have to build a bridge over. They're not going to be able to get over here. But what needs to happen with the ideas and understandings here is what do they need to know in terms of the different things in order to contact you?
Right. And that's where that's what I need help figuring out, because I'm so close to the problem that I can't see. It's the same thing that I do for my clients. Donald Miller talks about on Story Brand. He says that when you're a business owner, you're so close you can't see. It's like trying to read the label of a bottle from inside the bottle. Mm-hmm. And so that's what I provide to my clients, is that objective third-party viewpoint. I need that from you to say, like, okay, what am I missing here so I can get people here?
Absolutely. So, and you've already laid this out and identified this. What's going to happen a lot of times, because this is day one right here, right? Like this whole initial contact. But how many times, and we don't know this for sure yet, right? How many times have they actually seen your websites? How many different touch points have they been? Mm-hmm. How much information have they consumed?
Right. I don't know the answer to that. Doesn't mean we don't have the answer to that.
For sure.
I have Art, who's our digital marketing director. He's going to be setting all this up for us. We have analytics, so we know how many people are visiting the site. We have retargeting set up. Mm-hmm. And so right now, the only thing that we have going to these pages, as far as I understand, is, and I should probably know this, is we have Facebook video ads. Mm-hmm. Okay, now there's other ways that but like this is what I'm paying Facebook, you know, I don't know how much, a couple $100 a month or something like that. And we're running ads, linking them here and then following them around. But the message is not necessarily marketing. We have one video for each one of the services that we offer.
Gotcha. Okay. So of all things that are going on here, right? And we always kind of lay out these numbers. There's a market of people that could be interested in your services, but we know 90% of them aren't even close, ready, willing, or able. So your messaging needs to talk about that, about, hey, we're not trying to do the startup for $500. We're not doing the Wix and Weebly's out there, right? All those different ones. What speaks in terms of videos to them being interested and them actually considering you? Because here's what happened, and from what you're mentioning, they're either going in-house, someone else, or Butler.
Correct.
Right? So your video's here for considering, for this last stage of they've consumed content, they've downloaded, let's say, a lead magnet or something else here, right? Now they're moving into considering phase. Yeah,
which we don't have any lead magnets right now to attract people to this funnel.
Yeah. If you start developing, one of the things that we do is the creative side of helping people just to come up with the thoughts, which I know you guys are going to be able to take and execute a lot more. We can talk about thoughts of what it is, and you guys can have them all done in a day probably. When it comes to the lead magnets, right? Is just what are the different things that people think about? And the ones that work the best that we've seen is the self-assessments. So how can someone take this and take it one step further that's shareable with the team on there? So how do they take a self-assessment back to their boss and say, hey, I just went through and did an audit. That's not they fill a questionnaire and they get results back from you and it becomes a lead magnet. Like, hey, here's 10 questions of where we are today. Here's the 3 things that we need, and we don't have these things built out. I was able to understand that. I think we need to reach out to them, right? So in each one of your services that you offer, what's a lead magnet that's going to get them there?
Right. Shoot, are you asking me now to think of one?
If you can. Or just...
So specifically for marketing, it could be like, should you hire... I'm just thinking out loud. So one of the things that I tell people is, like, when it comes to marketing, it has to be done. Someone's got to do it. So you have 3 options. One is you could do it yourself. One is you could pay someone in-house to do it, or you can hire an outside agency. And so let's weigh out the pros and cons of that. As a business owner, you probably shouldn't be doing it yourself because you're trying to focus on all these other things. So you're really looking to hire someone in-house or outsource. And so maybe a self-assessment would be like, are we set up to hire a marketing director or something like that? I don't know if that's like of interest to somebody, or maybe it's even more broad, like, because we have one lead magnet I have readily available, but it's not a self-assessment. It's a marketing strategy, like how do you develop your own marketing strategy?
And is it built in like worksheet style where they can fill it out?
It is, yeah. So it's a worksheet, like it's a PDF that they could download and print out and fill out. And at the end, they have clarity, like, oh, these are the pieces of content that we could create, the channels we should focus on. Now they're asking themselves, okay, who's going to do this work? So now that we've developed the strategy, what do we do with it?
Absolutely. When they fill out this worksheet, is there anything about sending it back to you for free analysis or
no?
anything like that?
And I'm not even using that right now as a lead.
Gotcha.
I only created that as a part of one of the courses I sell for agencies. So my clients aren't even looking at this. I've given it away for free to some clients, but it is definitely a lead magnet that we could use.
Absolutely. Because if you have this and you have this worksheet, and the next steps is, let us review it with you. Or one thing that works for us, so they don't have the time commitment because they're still scared.
Yeah,
Are you going to cost so much? What's going on? I'll shoot like a free 5-minute, 10-minute Loom video. Right. I don't even mention the time sometimes. I'll review it for you and review your one page and give some insights on there. Because what I'm trying to identify through this worksheet right here is, are they the do-it-yourselves, in-house, right?
Right.
I'm just going to put house, or are they looking for agency?
Yeah.
And you can tell by this verbiage and the terminology that they're using here, I'm going to try doing this, I'm going to try and do this, or we need this, right?
Yeah. And I really want the person who's willing to maybe do this, but knows that they don't want to do the work themselves. Mm-hmm. And so, okay, on that, I guess we'll put here, marketing strategy workbook. Mm-hmm. And then another one that we have is the writing copy.
Good one.
Writing copy. And so like brand messaging and marketing, like I think I call it like, does your marketing copy suck? And it talks to you about how to create your own tagline, elevator pitch, value proposition, features, benefits, values, process, and then how to get social proof. So basically all the content you would need for your website and other marketing collateral. And so that's a worksheet.
Does this speak to the do-it-yourselfer or to the person looking to hire an agency?
See, that's the question. So like that, the draw for that is like to